welcome back to Flipper Flicks. We're glad you're here. We did want to take a quick moment to say that we do not endorse running with knives.
Eh?
I just got an
Eh.
What the fuck?
Wow, she's just dropping F-bombs over here, too. Or I'm going to have to mark it explicit now, like I've never done before.
Yeah, like
not
you've never
at
done it.
once.
I'm Sam, in case I didn't say that.
You didn't.
There you go.
He was
I'm
keeping
done with my
track.
part. I know.
Miss Knivesy. Mrs. Knivesy?
Mm-mm. Meh.
Nope, she's rejecting it completely.
Exactly.
Freddy Krueger?
You shut her down, she's shutting you down.
Yeah, that's how it works. Oh, man.
Anyway, I'm Tim, and I was thinking I was third yet again.
It happened.
But
Oh, no.
I guess I don't know why I get that mixed up so much. But in case you were wondering, we do in fact have social media.
Whoa.
I know,
Ba-ba-ba.
crazy. We're mostly on Instagram and Twitter. It's at FlipperFlix, in case you're curious. We also have a website, flipperflix.com. Now you can go there and give us recommendations. You can see what's going on, stuff that's new. Instagram and Twitter, we keep you up to date with cool little, what are they called? Reels and such, and updates on what we're watching. There you go.
I'm shocked that you knew the term.
The reel.
They get real good.
Check them out. You can also hit us up on there. You can find our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and other cool platforms. If you have a favorite, let us know, and we'll see if we're on there. If we're not, we'll try. If we can't, well, I guess you're here already. We post episodes every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless, of course, we don't. In which case, we'll usually let you know because it's a special podcast.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's what
Sometimes
you
they
need to
come
follow.
out at weird times.
Yes. But moving on.
Oh, is it my turn? I'm Adam.
Number 3. Whoever's number 3. Is that me?
Yeah.
Wait, that's me, isn't it? Shoot.
Yeah, it's your turn again.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Isn't number 3 puking?
Round the carousel for the next time.
I'm Adam. No, shit, that's wrong.
God damn, I did it again. So this week we got Adapt or Die. Ooh.
Whoa.
Someone's going to die in this episode. What? This is really just a true crime podcast.
What?
Nah, so this is about it basically doing like adapted screenplays.
Mm-hmm.
We were semi-clever with our naming convention.
Mm-hmm.
Semi.
Mm-hmm.
Not fully.
I like that you just gave yourself a pat on the
No,
back, 'cause
absolutely.
You're the one that names
He's
the
the one that
categories.
names them all. He's like,
I didn't name this
clever,
one.
you know? That's clever. Who came up with it? Yeah, I guess I did, didn't I?
Somebody else came up with this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this one I didn't. I think it was you.
Oh, okay.
Ha!
Ha!
Double self-plug there.
So anyways, we watched Blade Runner
Yes.
on Netflix.
Sure did.
Yeah, so this movie is in a dystopian LA. Detective Rick Deckard hunts a group of rogue androids. Interesting they used androids there, because they don't say that in the movie.
That's actually, yeah, that's funny.
This restored cut of the sci-fi classic includes never-before-seen footage.
Interesting.
Because
That's why
apparently
it was
we watched
called
the final cut.
cut.
Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
watch that version too? Okay.
Yeah.
That would have
That's
been kind
the
of
one
funny.
that's on Netflix that we have. The other one's just a new
Yeah.
one. So.
Yeah, and I was like, whenever it's like a sequel and then we choose the one without anything on the end, I'm like, which one did we pick?
Right.
But yeah, so I'll just, slide on over to my... Well, before I do that, do androids dream of electric sheep?
Yes.
That is the book and story this movie is based off of.
Oh, there you go.
Indeed. And my expectations were, I think I started this film 4 years ago.
Okay.
I'd say I still haven't finished. No, I'm just kidding. I think I started it at one point. I believe I quit watching it and started playing a video game because I was like going.
Right.
I was pretty sure I was going in and out of this one. But yeah, so I was expecting it's got to be a slow film if that's the case.
Yeah, because you finish most movies, I would say.
Yeah. Well, and I know that you were like on a Ridley Scott sort of deal because around this time when we watched it, you also watched Alien for the first time.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Not for the podcast. So yeah, I expected Harrison Ford to do Harrison Ford stuff. Maybe swing, run from giant boulders, but then I realized that's not this movie.
Different series.
Shoot some guns.
Mm-hmm.
Pew pew.
Well, he did do that. How about you, Sam? You look thrilled to bring up your expectations.
Well,
It's like you're about to cry.
Interested to hear you say that because I couldn't remember if I watched this one by myself. It seems like I did.
For the most part.
So there you go. I remembered watching it by myself, but I was like, is that right? That doesn't seem right. This doesn't seem like a movie I would pick. And then I remembered that there was a lot of rain in the movie. There was a blonde guy in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did remember that it had slow parts. So I was kind of excited to watch it again because I was like, oh, maybe I just caught it on a bad day and I was like sleepy, you know what I mean? And so I was like, maybe it's really not that slow. And I mean, I feel like we always bring this up, but like your movie taste changes, you know what I mean? So like I've seen a lot slower of movies since then. And so I was like, oh, I might have like a completely different tape. I didn't remember hating it the first time I saw it, but I did remember like kind of like liking it, but being like, it has some flaws, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I was excited to see if that was the same. What about you, Tim? How many times have you seen it?
I think only a handful of times. I can't really remember how many. There's definitely parts that I always forget about with this movie. I don't know why. I don't know if it's like a weird expectation to I've already seen it. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you expect something even though you've seen it to be a little bit different. I don't know. So every time I watch it, there's always something that I forgot about, I feel like. But I do remember liking this film. I think I've seen the new one more than I've seen the old one.
Really?
Yeah, I like the new one a lot.
With Mr. Goose himself?
Yep.
Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Gosling, yeah. Dave Bautista.
I've only seen it once. We saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
So I don't remember.
I mean, it's very thematically the same, right? Like, it's very, very similar. But anyway, back to the first one. Yeah, I was kind of interested to see what your guys' expectations and then how you guys felt through the film, because I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember if you had seen it or not, whatnot, because I have enjoyed this movie in the past, and I didn't expect this to be a change in my taste at all. So this is still a movie that's kind of up my alley, so...
Nah, Tim brought out the microscope and was like, this is completely different.
Analyzed it and, yeah. Wait, I don't remember that at all.
Tim's lab coat and everything. Yeah, no, Sam and I saw the new one in the Dolby Theater, and the only thing outside of the cinematography, I remember a pyramid scene with Jared Leto in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that the Dolby seats rumbled like crazy.
Yeah, like shaking stuff with everything that's going on.
Yeah, so that's all I remember of that one, too. So it's like...
Yeah.
I remember there was a desert at one point with Harrison Ford.
True.
There you go.
Or
and
Deckard.
Is the dog an android or a replicant, or is it real?
It's a replicant, because all the animals are dead in the book.
Yeah, but that's what he asks, though, and it's like, I don't know.
Well, they ask that... Oh, spoilers if you've not watched
spoilers.
this. 1980-something classic, probably 84. Seems like the right year.
Yeah.
Or 81 or something like that. Anyways, they talk about like, oh, is the owl a replicant? Well, the owl, yeah, it is, but he claims it isn't.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, no, because that's the weird thing is the lady with the snake even, he asked, and she's like, of course it is. You think I could afford a real snake? So I think there's still, it's real reserved animals for the extremely rich, probably.
Yeah.
So the owl could be real, in my opinion.
I only didn't think that because if you notice that, like in Roy's eyes and Pris,
how they glow.
Yeah, the owl's
yeah,
eyes
I mean, it probably wasn't, but I don't know. I'd like to think that
he had a. Yeah. I thought it was kind of weird that the dude had an owl just chilling in his house.
Right.
Lloyd.
Yeah, Sam's calling him Lloyd.
I don't know. Did they ever say his name?
Yeah. Dr. Eldon Tyrell.
Oh, yeah, he is the Tyrell. That makes sense. Well, he's also Lloyd from The Shining, the bartender. And I couldn't unsee it once I saw it. And especially, like, his, like, bifocal situation. I was just like, this guy's a joke. Like, I can't take him seriously.
Well, I felt like he looked like Christopher Lloyd.
I have not seen a young Christopher Lloyd. He's always been ancient since we've known him, so maybe? Question mark?
Yeah.
Didn't we see him young, let's put some air quotes, in Buckaroo Banzai? Isn't Christopher Lloyd in that? Anyways, it doesn't matter. That's not this movie.
Mm.
So not only did Lloyd from The Shining exist, this movie, I swear, had sounds from The Shining.
That wouldn't surprise me, honestly.
Like, they just had, like, this eerie, like, soundboard sound.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, is this pre or post Alien? Because I feel like the music was kind of similar in a way.
They used some of the some parts from Alien for the set.
Like, it kind of felt I felt like maybe there was more music. Well, Tim, you're the Alien expert because I haven't seen the original that much.
And
but,
Blade
like,
Runner expert.
I felt like it was kind of the same sort of vibe with the music, but maybe there was, like, just more in this one than there was in Alien.
This one had more of a, like, technical feel to it with the music, but, like, it was very much the same, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sam and I were discussing what the genre for this one was. And it was like, Netflix is like, it's a sci-fi action. And Sam's like, it's neo-noir.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's like...
Yeah, pretty much. Like, one of my first words to describe it probably would be noir. But,
yeah.
It's just literally like one of those noir detective stories, but set in the future.
Exactly. So the other word they used for it when I Googled it was cyberpunk.
Oh, well, duh, yeah. But it's not even cyberpunk.
I know. Cyberpunk-esque.
Yeah.
I don't even know when cyberpunk came to be.
Yeah,
steampunk, cyberpunk doesn't really hit either of those, I don't think, but... Well, so I got a question for you.
Is everybody a replicant?
No. Replicants, I guess they're androids, but what do you think is, I guess, better, or what do you think would win in a fight? Replicants or androids from Aliens?
Are we talking like David?
Yeah, I mean, because David...
I thought that was... I have that written down too, by the way, Tim.
Yeah, because it's
not the fight part,
but
the fact that they have a very similar android
they're extremely system. They're similar, yeah.
Yeah, like the scene between Roy and Dr. Tyrell was very... It reminded me of the scene in Alien Covenant at the beginning when David is with... Or was that in Prometheus? Whichever one. He's with the guy and he plays the...
piano.
The piano.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to remember his name right now. I can't.
How have you not watched that recently, Sam?
It's Guy Pearce is the actor. I don't remember what the doctor's name is.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna drive me nuts.
That guy.
And it's in Covenant.
But
it is in Covenant. Yeah. That's what I thought. I said that first.
Yeah, I was giving you your points.
Yeah.
But
I need my points.
Yeah, you're welcome. To answer Tim's question, I feel like we skirted around it. I am gonna go with the ones from the Alien universe. Only because, like, while I think that Roy is pretty solid, and Leon as well, it seems like they didn't really go the full distance with the girls. Like, all the girls were gymnasts. That's pretty much it.
Well, they were, like, created to be that way, though.
Oh.
Well, I wonder if it has to do with the era, too. Like, you know, when it was
true.
made. Because if you look at, like, I guess it is kind of unfair a little bit, because in the Aliens, they're a little bit further in the future. Or a lot of bit further in the future.
Yeah.
When they have the androids, but it's probably a little more realistic of when they're actually a thing.
Are you saying there weren't androids back in 2019?
No, this is a great documentary about 2019 in my opinion.
Okay.
Clearly.
Yeah.
But I think...
And then 2049 is going to happen, and it's going to be not right, too.
Yeah.
Well, but they couldn't go that far in the future. My answer, though, is Alien, because the androids in Alien could just run away for more than 4 years.
Yeah, that's the big hindrance of these ones, is they fucking die.
Like,
after
They
4
have
years.
cells
that's not
of
very
some
long.
kind that expire, and I didn't know if he meant like genetic cells.
Yeah, they had genetic material in them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that like made them expire.
And it's like, that's rude.
Yeah, what the fuck?
But isn't like, okay, so Rachel is a replicant.
Mm-hmm.
They embedded memories into her, and then I know the like age-old debate is Deckard also a replicant?
Well, that's the thing is, Deckard is not, in my opinion. I don't think he is, because of what happens. I mean, I'd have to hear somebody's good argument on it, but I think after watching the second one, if you only have the first one, you could be like, yeah, he might be.
Yeah.
But if you have the second one, I think it clears up that he's not.
Okay. Yeah, because like if I was just using the first one to base it off of, I was like, maybe, because I mean they're implanting memories in.
Mm-hmm.
He retired, and they had to go find him.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So they could have easily implanted that he used to be a Blade Runner.
That's true.
And who better to hunt like other replicants is a replicant?
That's kind of what happens in the second one, right? Spoilers.
Yeah,
but-
because that one's a little more recent.
Yeah. But the
Isn't that Ryan Gosling plays a replicant?
he is, yeah.
Okay. I can't remember these things.
Yeah, he's a
Always.
replicant, and then the thing is, Rachel had left, and she had a kid, and it was Deckard's kid.
Ah.
So
Interesting.
yeah, so and that's what
Interesting.
whole Dave Bautista in the very, very beginning is like the miracle, you know, like the whole thing is like there was a miracle, and she was born and stuff like that. But
And Jared Leto had weird eyes, and then
Yeah.
there's like a
Which
pyramid.
It's actually kind of similar, if I remember correctly. Tim, you've seen it more than obviously, so you'll be able to fact check this. But he reminds me of the guy that's always like skulking around that has the little origami
oh yeah, he does kind of.
Gaff.
gaff. Because I was like, I wondered if their storylines connected somehow, but it sounds like they don't.
I don't know. Maybe they do, because that guy like is a cop at one point, but then almost like not, right? Like at the end, he's
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
just there, and he's like, actually, that's a good point. I wonder, because somebody has to take over Tyrell, but at the same time, you know, it was another Tyrell, I think, or something like that. I don't remember the name
Yeah.
of the corporation in the second one.
Yeah. But they did finish the pyramid. He looked like he had a half-finished one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they added the top and the new one.
I figured that out. Well, and I did remember that. Like, I got flashbacks of, like, the Jared Leto scene, because there's a lot of gold, isn't there? And there's gold in the first one, too, I
so
thought.
many gold.
Like, I
So
just
many
remember
golds.
2049, like, there's very vivid colors.
Yes.
Whereas this one is, like, kind of the opposite. Like, it's all grayscale, it feels like.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
Some
it's
would
raining
say
the whole time.
noir.
Yes.
Some might say that, but not Netflix, damn it.
Not Netflix. Netflix would call this an action.
Yeah, like, they should have just don't believe in lights.
Right.
Yeah.
The only lights they believe in are spotlights and flashlights.
And neon lights.
Neon lights work. And holy, holy, holy,
The geisha.
and all the product placement ads.
Yeah, the first fucking half of this movie was an ad for Coke. I was
Yeah.
like, well, that didn't change in 2019. That's accurate.
I wonder
Well-
if they got cocaine back in Coke in 2019.
Hard to tell.
Hard to tell these days. But they did not foresee Pan Am going under.
No, they didn't get there.
Pan Am is big gone, and it's been gone. I don't even think were we alive for Pan Am?
Mm-mm, I don't think so.
I don't remember when the downfall was.
If we were too little to know.
yeah, like we wouldn't have flown it knowingly.
Yeah. But this is just a plug, which we've talked about before, but if you're a new listener here, that, like, they are so optimistic about the future, like, in movies all the time. You know what I mean? Like, we've got hover cars in this one, and it's like, LA just looks completely different.
Right.
And you're like,
Well, so I'm gonna go on the opposite side and say that they were not fucking optimistic.
well, yes and no,
Everything's
right?
death and decay, and like in dystopian, like why is there no like happy like utopias?
Well, that's what's interesting about these, right? They're very interesting because it's like we're at a weird point with technology, that could potentially create, and like the economy that could create situations like this, because ultimately dystopian worlds are created through like wealth disparity and technology mishaps such as like AI and shit like that. Usually when it comes to the world, and then people stepping on other people kind of thing. So and they showed that a lot in this too. There's a lot of like homeless, it looks like, stuff like that. So
kids just stealing hubcaps.
Yeah.
I think he saw the kid had a hubcap and was messing with the car. And I'm like, how did he get that off? No, I kind of said that, like, oh, we're always in like these posts, like these like depressing dystopian things, and like while not fully true, like once you get into like deeper into the movie, like the book, The Giver, they live in a happy utopia, supposedly, and that's all I'll say,
right?
Because that's not what our subject matter is today.
Yeah, but we're still like thinking, oh, in 2049 we're gonna have these great holograms that we can fuck, and stuff like that. Which I don't know.
Well, that hologram just went over a prostitute.
I'm just saying, like, that seems like a little bit of a stretch.
I don't know.
First, and like the hover car police thing that was in this one, that he like had to say like, no, I'm a Blade Runner, yada yada. Like, I mean, I guess we have drones now, so we're getting closer. And we did in 2019, so technically not wrong. But I don't know. They love to, like, be like, this will be great, and we're going to have all this technology. And it's like, are we?
Right. So I wrote down this line. Just making snakes over here, because I did not understand. Like, it didn't, like, process to me at that point that they could make replicant snakes.
Right, like, pretty much everything. Anything.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting though, because everything's bioengineered, or replicants are. So if you have like no animals anymore, how are you bioengineering animals?
Right.
Dina.
That's true.
The
Jurassic
DNA.
Park.
I think Jurassic.
Yeah, I mean that was the thought I had, but I still am gonna stick to my guns. However you do, wouldn't you run out?
That's, you know how he had like that little snake scale?
Yeah.
They put it under a microscope. It wasn't. They did not pull a snake scale off and look at it, guys. You know what they did? Yeah, no, they zoomed in on some marijuana bud.
Nice. Work with what you got, right?
Work with what you got. I don't know why that's funny, but it's...
That is interesting though, because I mean they had to have like redone it, because it, like, plant cells look completely different. They're like squares, right?
Dude, you're asking.
Sure.
This is like,
you guys remember biology? Weren't like plant cells are different.
probably.
So I don't think they would look like that.
The
They
mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Somebody that actually knows biology, please
Educate us.
yeah, tell us on Twitter or Instagram. But I think that plant cells are different, and so it wouldn't have looked like that. And the marijuana definitely didn't have a serial number. That was CG.
That was CG.
That was a joke, Tim. He's like, I don't know.
So when this guy's chasing down Snake Lady, when I say
Snake
this guy, I'm
Lady.
talking about Deckard.
Oh, yes, Snake Lady with her see-through coat and fun outfits.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't see anything wrong with this.
I mean, that kind of feels cyberpunky. Her
That
outfit.
does. If she had like a cyborg arm going on.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway.
No, I'm just kidding. I was just laughing about how Deckard's running around with a gun, waving a gun around.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, nobody really cares, right?
Yeah, I did think that too.
And like, it's not like other people are running around with guns.
I know.
Like he's the only one with a gun.
That's probably the untold part of the universe is if they have one, right? It's somebody that's doing something like a Blade Runner.
Yeah,
That's
it
probably
was just funny to me.
Yeah, and plus in that world, you think people care enough when they're trying to like starve for food and shit?
That's true.
What are they gonna care?
Yeah, because that was going to be my next thought, was like, well, clearly he has a gun and he's trying to chase after this girl, and nobody's like, And he doesn't even say, like, stop her or anything like that.
He doesn't care.
Like, nobody gives a crap about anything.
And did you guys notice, like, I think this was one of the scenes, and a couple scenes later, they had some weird hats going on.
Mm-hmm.
So the hats were just baskets that they bought from Pier 1.
Nice.
And they refashioned them as hats.
I love that.
That's awesome.
Creative costuming department right there.
It's so good. That's like Game of Thrones, and they're using IKEA rugs for their coats. And That's amazing.
And then Harrison Ford, he had just come off of like finishing up Indiana Jones, and he was like, I do not want to wear a hat.
Please don't make me.
I don't know the story behind why he doesn't want to wear a hat, but he didn't. So he goes to the barber, and he gets like this contemporary haircut he's like, this is gonna fit the sci-fi world. He gets to Ridley Scott, and he's like, hey, I got this cool haircut now.
Aww.
Can we not do it? And Ridley Scott's like, I don't care. And they just kind of rolled with the haircut.
That's interesting, because I thought the story was going to be like he said no, because I don't think that his haircut was contemporary. You know what I mean? Like,
contemporary,
maybe
for
the time, I guess.
I thought it was weird, because I didn't think anything, like, his hair looked short.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Right.
Interesting.
So, but yeah, no hats.
Yeah. Speaking of hair and clothing, though, that was definitely 2019 fashion. The shoulder pads and the nice bangs and the replicant that like paints her face black and white.
Yeah, that would still look like a doll.
Creepy doll.
That doll
Creepy
room,
doll.
let's just call it a dollhouse. That thing was creepy as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
Also, I don't think they knew what 25-year-olds looked like. Is that how old Sebastian said he was?
Did you not catch that he had a disease that made him age?
And that's why he was stuck on planet, too. He wasn't allowed to leave the planet. Which is weird, but...
Yeah, I know. Hey, you have a disease, you can't leave. No off-worlding for you.
Well, it's more of just, like, why are there so many people on the planet Earth, and why is this guy that, like, created the replicants, and is it, like, why are the rich still basically on Earth if...
That's true.
People aren't allowed to
off?
leave? Yeah, like, why is he still there? But maybe because it's
Well, he had a chess match to finish.
Yeah, I guess
he had
so.
Had to finish that chess match. They're playing chess. I guess he stopped the elevator to chat with him, and he's like, hey, what are you doing here? Well, I really had a chess move against you.
Yeah.
That was a weird thing.
It was weird because he was, like, cautious and then not, right? And that ultimately led to what happened to his face, but...
What did you say the milk and cookies get to you?
What?
He said something to the toy maker. Like, Dr. Tyrell's like, oh, you got, like, the milk and cookies keeping you up?
Oh. I didn't catch that.
He said something weird like that. And then, because then he responded with, I got a chess move or whatever.
Yeah.
Or was it before? Now I can't remember if it was before, like the other way.
I don't remember the order of events.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he said the milk and cookies after, like, he beat him in the round of chess. Which, how is the toy maker playing a round of chess with, the head honcho of the Tyrell court?
What do you mean?
How did they end up meeting? No, like, how did they end up meeting is more of, I want to know that story. How did they meet?
He's part of the building process, from what I understand.
Yeah, I know. I figured there were lots of people involved, and he just wasn't himself, like Dr. Tyrell, but he is a doctor. So maybe he was. He had those weird bifocals. Quadfocals. Quinfocals? I think there were 5 technically, right?
I have no idea. They were intense, though. And clearly, I think we've talked about this as well, but clearly squishing people's eyeballs out was a popular thing from way back in the day.
Apparently.
And it's making a resurgence lately. Like, I thought it was a newer thing, when we were talking about it. But nope, it's been around for a while.
Yep.
I think the first big eye thing happens in A Clockwork Orange.
I don't know.
I think they hold open the eyes.
Oh God.
Like with little metal. I don't know it because I've heard that people look away on that scene.
Yeah, it sounds horrible.
So we gotta watch that one, Tim.
I guess so.
We might as well continue our eye journey. I feel like we were talking about something, I can't remember what it was recently, but we were talking about eyeballs in a recent episode as well, because I was talking about how I didn't want to touch my eye. Something crawled across somebody's eye. What episode was that?
Last episode. No. Yeah, was it? I don't know. My memory is failing.
Ega!
It was Ega. It was the fly walking
yeah, it was.
the eye.
I just listened to it.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute.
It was like 3 episodes ago.
There you go. So go back and listen to our eyeball debate then, too.
Now, I actually have a quote. I haven't written a quote down in like a while.
Ever. Yeah.
Wake up, time to die.
Yeah, that one's great.
A classic line.
And then he tried to like close his eyes.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you doing?
He wanted him to...
Wake up, I've got to poke out your eyeballs.
Basically.
It's easier when they're open.
Question mark?
Just think about that real quick.
Ha! I don't want to think about that.
No, but just think about it.
Now there's a tortoise in the desert, and you flip it over. How does that make you feel?
Terrible.
Yeah, their questions were really interesting because it's like, I don't understand, like, I guess with a person it would be very easy to see the emotion with something like that because Sam literally just was like, terrible. And I literally just picked up a turtle off the road today to get it out of the road and moved it. So that's I guess with a normal person.
So that's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
Like, it's like, what are these questions trying to do? Elicit emotion.
Right. Well, you just gave him the trick.
I was trying to remember some of the other ones, though.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Way to go.
The one, let's see, they were going to talk about the mom. Shit, yeah, I can't remember right now.
But I feel like the other ones didn't necessarily elicit emotion.
They weren't
like the
the
tortoise.
same, yeah. That was very, like, different, I guess, but...
Yeah, but once he brought up the mom, the dude got punched through a wall.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, that's a strong 2-year-old. 2.5-year-old?
That's
April
true.
10th, 2017.
Yeah.
Don't know why that stuck in my head. That was weird. But it did.
That's funny. So then do the replicants have terrible twos? They just like beefcake up during year 2?
Yeah,
they
terrible
punch
twos.
people through walls?
Yeah, so Pris and Roy were both on there last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then I don't even remember the fucking
Oh, I can't.
snake lady.
Yeah, I don't remember her name either.
But yeah. Everybody, did you guys get that there was like, even though like clearly we were trying to elicit emotion from the replicants, they're just like Harrison Ford's character Deckard doesn't really have much emotion either.
Which I think is why there's that
Debate whether or not he
debate.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rachel has no emotion. Nobody has emotion.
I see Deckard's more as like he's done this so long and he knows what he's they aren't people. He's chasing down androids essentially, so he doesn't really need.
It's more of.
He does show emotion though a little bit actually within that because, I mean he's I guess not much more than the replicants, but
Yeah.
he does show a little bit with Rachel and everything because she like saved him and whatever, and he's like, you know, I won't come after you, I owe you, that kind of, you know, that kind of stuff, but. He also gets a little weird at the one point when he like closes the door on her and tells her to like say,
yeah,
that was a little awkward. I always forget about that part because that's just like, what the fuck is that?
That's no chill.
Yeah.
That's not chill, bro.
Yeah.
I think it's got a little uncomfortable.
I'd say.
Yeah. And then I'm going through my notes. I have just a straight up toy guy, like the apartment scene or whatever that is, the toy room.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's place is fucking huge.
It's massive.
Unless they were blasting through other people's apartments.
I thought it was an apartment building. Like his place is huge, yes, but I think that it is an apartment complex, isn't it?
Essentially,
it's not all his. Yeah.
But yeah. It was crazy. The toys were crazy, and then I'm like, you're gonna go stand in front of her. Yeah, and then she's doing these flips and shits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did remember the toy guy's like apartment scenes. I don't know why. For some reason, those stuck out to me.
Because it's creepy.
I guess, yeah.
I only remember Roy seeing Pris That's all I remember from this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you really didn't pay attention the first time.
I did not. My attention span for this one was very little.
That was when you were playing WoW, I believe, though.
It was WoW or Ark.
Yeah.
It's one of the two.
Whoa.
You know, where they just eat your memory.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all you care about.
Yeah. Gotta keep the dinos alive. I'm Freddy Krueger dinos.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I guess, like, that harkens back to my technology phase again.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some great enhancing qualities for these photos.
Oh, yeah, these photos. That's definitely how
Your
photos
guys'
work.
favorite thing. Yeah.
Holy
Enhance.
shit. I hate this so much.
Go 3642. Enhance.
Mm-hmm.
He did it, like, 10 times, easily.
Enhance.
Yeah, and then
And
it's,
it-
like, completely clear. And, like, within, it's like, wait, that's not how that works.
That's 2019 technology,
That's
Tim.
well, true.
2019
That is, with your
technology.
cameras now, you can like move a photo after you've taken it because it's has even though it's out of the bounds of the photo, it somehow took a picture of it. But yeah,
Yeah, I was really confused by that.
Yeah,
like
that
it
was
seemed like
weird.
he like just changed the time.
yeah,
Like changed it to like 42 seconds instead of 36 seconds.
Oh.
But
I didn't get that.
don't-
I didn't
don't
know what the numbers stood
Yeah,
for. I
it's-
thought
it's-
it was like a grid.
right. Yeah, that's how I saw it more as like a
That's how I saw
section
it. but
of
then
the grid.
It was weird.
But then you're kind of with him for a little bit because he's zooming into the mirror, right? So in theory, whoever took the photo should be in the mirror. But then what comes out of the mirror is that lady, like, laying down somewhere. And I'm like, I
Right.
don't know how we
Like,
got
what-
here.
What the
Okay.
hell,
That's
yeah.
confusing. Yeah.
I got it figured out. He was just using the like Google option where like when like you look at someone's house, you can kind of go through a 3D like virtual tour,
360 tour, yeah.
360 tour of it. Yeah, like you can go to the next
36,
room.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have the technology.
Just
To
maybe
move.
not the way it's
In a
presented.
way,
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
They weren't ready. They didn't understand how it was going to work back in the 80s.
But they knew it would be available.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Well, it kind of reminds me of is it on Facebook that they used to have this? And I don't know if they still do, where they had those like live photos where you could like scroll up and down and scroll side to side when people would post
The
it.
hell?
And it's basically like a live photo. You don't remember that?
No.
They have that. That was a feature at one point.
Mind you,
which was creepy.
the extent of my Facebook is to look up menus for restaurants.
Well, it's kind of like the 360
Yeah.
tour thing, where it's basically like you can scroll to the side and to the left.
okay.
But like, what's the point of that? For a room tour, gotcha.
Right.
Yeah, that makes a lot
I'm
of
gonna
sense.
take a picture of my donut that's 360, so you can look at the crumbs right next to it. On
Honestly,
the
that
Hey,
sounds
Tim's
amazing.
really interested. Yeah.
I'm into that actually.
Give me all them donut pics. Now it's a donut
man.
hole within a
Oh my
donut.
goodness.
Got a good business idea for somebody. 360
It's not
food
bad.
tours.
Yeah, that's not
Make
bad.
it happen. Oh man. Well,
I'm out of notes.
I have dumb notes like it sounds really comfy to go to sleep in a pile of garbage in the rain.
Probably.
No?
Say
She was
again?
just waiting for. It's Pris when she was waiting for the toy maker.
She basically like fell
Oh
asleep
yeah,
and-
she was
well,
like under the
tried
trash
to,
and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he like.
I also thought he was a
also,
trash
why do they
man.
sleep?
I don't know. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's the age-old question of do androids dream of electric sheep?
Right.
And my answer is no, because I don't even dream of sheep. I can't tell you I've had sheep in my dreams ever.
You're gonna have sheep in your dreams tonight.
I know.
Guaranteed.
Possibly.
You said that.
Guaranteed.
I don't know that I have had sheep in my dreams.
I'm
now that you
sure
say that.
over the 32 years of my life, I've dreamt of some kind of sheep.
At some point. Right?
You don't remember all your dreams, so I could easily just be
That's
like,
true.
of course I
Yeah.
have. Duh.
Well, there's also isn't the whole fact of like the sheep count? Isn't it counting sheep to go to sleep?
Before you go to sleep.
Yeah, that's
Do
the
you
thing. It's
count
like
sheep?
you count. I don't know.
No.
Oh, I used to.
I count
a lot.
how many times I've seen Homelander commit crimes.
Whoa. We haven't watched the new season yet.
Well, that's just in general of like the first.
Oh, yeah.
He just kills people, but yeah.
Oh, I know.
It's
We,
whatever show I'm watching, whatever that kind of stuff usually, or if I'm just going to bed without anything on. I don't know. I think of like dystopian worlds and stuff.
Oh, you know
Interesting.
what I do?
That puts you to sleep. Okay.
I feel like it's probably going to annoy people in the world. I just close my eyes and I go to sleep.
Yeah, that's how I am.
I like literally my head hits the pillow, I'm gone.
Well, there's a meme that Rihanna was like, she gets annoyed about. She'll see like memes of like, there's those people that are just asleep, and then there's people that like toss and turn all night. She just looks at me like, I hate you, because I literally will lay down and just like pass out.
Oh yeah, it's easy.
I don't
Yeah,
understand.
it's You just lay down, you get comfy, and you fall asleep. You close
That's
your eyes.
not how it works.
I had laid down on the floor the other day. Out in like 30 seconds.
yeah.
Dude, you do that all the time.
Yeah, I can say, just throw my body somewhere. I'll fall asleep.
You
It's
definitely,
impressive.
Maybe a pile of trash.
definitely dreamt of sheep in that case.
Well, and I was going to spoil because you did tell me one time because I have trouble sleeping. I'm just going to come out and say that. And so you did tell me one time that you used to do this thing where you would do math to go to sleep. And I was like, this is not going to fucking work for me. You'd be like, 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 4.
When did I say this?
It was probably when we were like babies, but you would tell me that. And I was like, dude, I wouldn't get past like not very far. Like, I'd just give up and
Just
think
do the
of something
Fibonacci
else.
sequence.
I don't know the Fibonacci sequence.
Like 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. It's basically just adding.
Yeah, that's basically what you told me. I think.
Yeah, but that would like wake me up.
That's what I was thinking. Like, who does that put to sleep besides Adam?
Besides Adam,
Like-
yeah, who does that? Yeah, that's a good.
What do I do? What do I sleep talk about, Sam?
Oh, you do sleep talk about math and your like numbers and stuff. It's funny.
Okay, so
Yeah.
his sheep are shaped like numbers.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Does Adam dream
Yeah.
of math sheep?
I don't need to count the sheep. I'm doing a lot more
Talking about
complex
graphs and dashboards and shit. I'm like, nice.
shit. That typically happens when I'm stressed from work.
Oh man. Well, I did want more. So I remember this movie being like long, obviously, right? And it feels like it has different parts to it. And I just wished that we had more of Roy running around being crazy because I always remember that.
Where he's in
Yeah.
his boxer briefs.
Well, yeah, and he's just like got a totally different personality than he does the rest of the movie. And so I'm like, I want more of that and cut some of the other
Well,
stuff
I think
out.
the big part about that is he's dying.
Probably.
He's at
Yeah.
the like final stages of death, and I think that's the big thing with the last scene is he's killed these people, he's killed a lot of people, and then he saves Deckard. He doesn't, because
True.
like right before he dies, he saves Deckard, and it's like that's interesting. If he had like a change of heart, or was it just because he was dying, he saw the finality of it, saved him?
What if
He just
what
powered
if
down.
he was like, Deckard's actually one of us?
Oh.
saved
Yeah,
him.
that could be an argument with it. But Deckard is not.
Nah, I'm just fucking with you. I don't give a shit.
You're just trying to formulate
I'm
the
just-
internet's
it's
opinion.
good.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point. That's probably something people would argue is he didn't kill him because he was a replicant. But I don't think Deckard is, especially after they make it such a huge point to prove that
In the
the new one he
2049.
is.
If they never made the new one, I could be like, I would fight
I
a
could
lot
see
harder.
it. Yeah, I could definitely see it if they never made the new one. But with how it is,
Yeah.
just how they lined it up,
There's-
it's not.
So there's an alternate ending that they literally say we were made for each other.
Him and Rachel.
Him and Rachel say that to each other.
Yeah.
In which
Interesting.
case, you make replicants. Anyways, so how many words do we think Deckard said to Roy during their last bout? Like they're running around the house scene.
Oh God, like none.
Literally 0.
Yeah.
He doesn't say a single thing to him.
Yeah, Roy's just like taunting him.
And then
Yeah.
Roy comes out with a dove or pigeon.
Yeah, he's like holding it the whole time.
Yeah. The part where he like pets it was improv.
That's great.
They're like, yeah, we're keeping that. Like, there's a so that scene that I was talking, the we were made for each other scene. They basically they put them in a car, Rachel and Deckard in a car driving, and when they pulled out and showed them driving through the mountains, it was a bunch of unused footage from The Shining.
See, like that just convinces me a lot of the music is like just used from other stuff as well, and then it's like revamped a little bit. Because I mean, even like to completely off topic almost, but Always Sunny, they talk about like how a lot of movies they just pull from these pools of music and stuff. It's
like, they have just sound banks.
Sound banks is very similar. So without a direct composer specifically for the film and stuff, I guarantee a lot of shit is like found that way.
Well, and they have a lot of sound editing, and that's a whole division. So, yeah, it's like one of my favorite things in Sunny is where it's the Waiting for Big Mo episode, and Dennis goes up and like turns on Frank's like sound system, like laser tag system, and it's like,
oh yeah,
and like that's like a noise that's used in like like they use that in like Star Wars and whatnot, like in A New Hope when like
that
Obi-Wan's
classic
doing all that stuff.
Yeah, the classic like just futuristic-y noise.
Oh yeah, that sounds real good. Tim, you got any more notes?
Oh shit, I forgot to write down what he says there at the end to him, because it's a quote that I feel like I hear a lot, but now I can't. I forgot to write it down. I guess I didn't save it, but
yeah, you mean when Roy tells Decker?
Yeah,
it's something about like all these moments lived and they'll be lost like tears. Yeah, in the rain or something like that. People do like that quote. Yeah,
that's a deep quote, man.
Mm-hmm.
The Deep doesn't have great quotes.
No, probably not.
Did you see the memes about the Deep and Deep quotes? And it's like, it's just ridiculous shit. I'll have to find it, sent to you. It's fucking great, but it's just silly.
I love it.
Alright, I'm gonna get to the cast. Rick Deckard is played by Harrison Ford, and we all know
his contemporary haircut.
We all know him from The Age of Adeline. I just tried to. I just went and was like, all right, which is this stupid movie? Like, everybody knows Star Wars, like Han Solo.
Nope, he's not in those. He's in Age of Adeline.
He's in Age of fucking Adeline.
That movie is actually really good.
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it. We own it.
I didn't know it was a thing. Till right now.
It's like Benjamin Button, kind of, in a way.
Oh,
like, it's like a time travel movie.
Also never seen that.
But no,
I mean, I haven't either, but I know the premise.
We own that one, too.
Yeah, we have the Brad Pitt collection.
We literally bought we wanted the movie Troy, so we bought a 4-pack. Because it also included 7.
I mean, so if it's all Brad Pitt stuff, you're just like, well, fuck it, right? I'm going to watch it.
Exactly. It's $5 at Walmart? Like, sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why the fuck not? And then they, like, all 4 loaded into, like, my Movies Anywhere account. I'm like, this is great. Now I can watch my Brad Pitt collection wherever I go.
It's funny how much we talk about like actors and stuff we like, but we don't have a lot of their, like, we have very random people that are primarily in the movies we watch for the podcast.
I know.
But I think it's just because we try to find stuff we haven't necessarily seen a lot of.
Exactly.
So it's very funny we end up talking about certain people like Brad Pitt. Yeah, I watch anything he's fucking in, shit.
Continuously does not watch anything.
Yeah, exactly.
What? Who was it? Jennifer Connelly?
Jennifer Connelly,
which is,
yeah.
Weird, yeah.
Yeah, it's so strange. And then she's in the new Top Gun, and I was like, I don't know her name.
I know that face. I watched her as a teenager, turned into like, and then I saw her in like her early to mid 20s, and then I've seen her old. It's like,
that's true. We've seen her through the years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's weird.
But anyways, Roy Batty.
Jennifer Connelly's not in this movie, by the way.
Yeah, she is. No, I'm just kidding.
Good.
Roy Batty's played by Rutger Hauer. And now, I didn't recognize him from anything. He looked familiar, but I couldn't find anything. But I now have a movie I want to see, and it's called Hobo with a Shotgun.
I've heard of that.
What the fuck?
I've never seen it, but I've heard of that.
It's like from 2011. So it's newer.
So also a documentary.
Yeah. So this guy, Rutger Hauer, loves this movie so much that he went and bought it. He bought a yacht because, he has the money.
Mm. Yes, as people do.
And he named it the Blade Runner.
Nice.
That's pretty great. I don't know why you need a yacht to name, I guess I don't know. That's just weird.
Yeah, just get a normal
Why don't you
boat.
Why don't you just flex and get a plane?
There you go.
Whoa, that would make a little more sense, wouldn't it?
I would buy a boat first.
I'd buy a car
like
and
a
pretend it
ship.
could fly. Yeah, this
Just
Honda
put jet
Civic
fuel in
here,
it.
this baby can fly.
Just
about
get some jet fuel,
2
put it in there.
seconds.
How deep is the Grand Canyon?
Yes, is the
That's
answer
how
to that.
far. That's how far
How
I can
long
fly.
it can fly.
Yeah, there you go.
But Rachel is played by Sean Young, and she is in a movie called Dune from the 80s.
OG? Oh.
Yeah. Gaff is actually played by a very big actor named Edward James Olmos.
Mm,
Battlestar Galactica.
yeah.
Oh.
I know you've never seen
Bears
it, but
beats. That is sort of collective.
Battlestar Galactica. Yeah.
That's the extent of my knowledge.
I used to watch.
Dr. Eldon.
Nice.
Yeah. Dr. Eldon Tyrell is played by Joe Turkel. He's in The Shining.
Lloyd!
Lloyd tried to murder us at a restaurant once.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of
True.
spooky.
Every time I heard the
So-
name Lloyd, I just think of Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah. So Sam and I we're sitting down at this restaurant, and we like set this knife. Like we had a steak knife, right? And it just kept
It would keep turning.
turning and pointing at one of us.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Somebody was playing spin knife with you.
And then our waiter's name was Lloyd.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
and
weird.
like Lloyd's a ghost in The Shining, so we were like, "Oh God, we're gonna die tonight."
Anybody else see this guy that's waiting on us?
I don't know why. I was like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah.
But the director was Ridley Scott, Sir Ridley Scott. Apparently
He's
he
a
was
sir?
knighted.
Oh.
I didn't realize he was English.
I didn't either.
But apparently this was a whole big deal because he couldn't bring his British team out to the US at the time. He had to go get a whole new team to do this movie in LA.
That's weird.
Oh my God, that's so
Why?
terrible
That's so
for
weird.
him.
So we talked about the Alien movies, but the other one is something newer. Was The Last Duel.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I forgot he did
Yes.
that.
It's a good one.
it is a good one. Very good one. I enjoyed it.
Also slow.
That was some contemporary.
It depends on
haircuts.
That was some interesting haircuts
Yeah.
in that one.
But Tim, you were sorry, I cut you off. You
I
were
was just
saying
saying it depends.
on.
Slow is
let's
relative.
It was slow and then it picked up.
Yeah.
It wasn't
It also
it
depends
wasn't
on
a
the viewer.
fast
It's
pace.
the perception of the viewer too, because
Yeah.
this movie was slow, but at the same time not, right? You know, it's like it depends on the viewer.
Yeah.
If I don't like the movie, it's slow.
Yeah.
Pretty much, like that's how I see it. But
Well-
good movies can be slow. I'm not saying that. It's just it's
Yeah, I
relative
was gonna
to
say.
certain things.
There
but,
will be blood.
oh, that movie's great.
So this one had 2 Oscar nominations.
That doesn't surprise me.
It does surprise me because
For what they are.
no, there was an art and set design. This movie is a cult classic. This did not do well.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know what it was up against at the time, but for something like set design,
It's not like it
You know
was
what I mean?
unknown too. So
even if it shat the bed at the box office, you can't the music, you know what I mean? There's stuff that's undeniably good about it, and there's shit that gets nominated all the time that's a fucking mess. But hey, the costuming was great.
that's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true. I'll give you it. But yeah, 2 Oscar noms, 12 wins overall, and 17 other nominations.
Dang.
Yeah.
Now, knowing that it's a cult classic, how do we think this scaled rating was?
Well, it's probably different now, right? Because it's
Well, it's
I
a
mean,
cult
the
classic.
fact that people inflate the scores now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to go ahead and say this may be the most consistent scoring that we've seen in a while.
I mean, I don't think I've ever really heard bad things about this movie, which is kind of odd. But
I know.
I mean,
Not
even it being
not
a
like-
cult classic, it's
Yeah.
not really a cult when everyone says it's good, right?
Yeah.
At that point, it just becomes a classic.
Right, it's
Yeah.
just a classic. So
That didn't do well at first.
yeah,
Yeah.
it started out as a cult classic, it just became a classic, right? Is that the ultimate
Yeah.
evolution of a cult classic? Oh,
Maybe.
fucking
Think
movie
so.
bombed, and then now it's fucking there's a niche that likes it, and they hate that other people like it. Now the rest of the world likes it. Is that the ultimate?
Yeah. You've made it.
So-
done
You're
it.
welcome.
Tim.
Yay! 34 years later. Fucking...
So if we're talking like in Pokemon terms, like this movie was a box office bust, then became evolved into a cult classic, and now it's evolved into its final form of classic.
Definitely.
If we're talking Pokemon.
Yeah.
Because we should do that more. No, I'm just kidding. No, so the critics give it an 89%.
That's
audience with a 91.
Damn.
IMDb with an 8.1 out of 10. But guys, don't you worry. It did not pass Google with an 88%.
Of course it did pass Google.
Classic Google.
Classic.
All right, so let's start easy with Tim.
Yeah, obviously, I would flip it on. I think those scores are very good. Google, you're crazy, but yeah, I enjoyed this movie a lot. I think I like the second one more, and I don't know if that's because it's more modern or what. Maybe that's it. I like that, Harrison Ford makes a return and stuff like that. So I think it's a sequel done well. But it's kind of weird because it's the same as like this. It's probably more of a cult classic right now than the original. Like I think that more people have seen the original, but I remember there was a lot of hype with the second one coming out. So I think they're both really good movies. So if you want to watch this one, I highly suggest it, and then probably do what I'm going to do right after this and go turn it on in the background while I work on some stuff. But yeah, I guess that's a roundabout way, a long, short story long. That I would flip it on.
Nice.
I'm on the fence.
Okay.
I thought you might be.
Yeah, there are definitely parts that I enjoy of it, and I don't know, it was a good movie. It was well done, but I did get bored.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And yeah, and I liked the new one, but I've only seen it in theaters where the seat was vibrating and keeping me like, oh, hey, you got to watch this to see everything's exploding around you. You can't even calm down from it.
Right.
So I need to rewatch. I've been wanting to rewatch the new one. But I will say I was a little sleepy going into it. I can admit this. I ate some food and then I was way more attentive.
Yeah. That's fair.
My energy
Pizza
runs
rolls,
on
to be
food.
specific.
Yeah, I ate some pizza rolls because I'm a healthy human.
That is what 30-year-olds eat for dinner.
31.
Hey, you're an adult. You eat whatever the hell you want.
If I want to eat candy for dinner, I will. How often do I eat candy bars for breakfast?
I have no idea.
It used to be a lot.
It's like, I don't know. Do you challenge out on paydays and stickers over here?
He has a secret stash of candy bars
when we were
for
in Tampa,
breakfast.
We had like a market in our apartment, and I would just go downstairs.
Yep.
If we didn't have breakfast, I'd be like, I'm going Three Musketeer bar. I'm a fucking adult. I don't give a shit.
Was that your go-to Three Musketeer for breakfast?
I like the nougat.
Yeah.
I like the nougat.
For breakfast, specifically, or is it like just...
Just in general.
Just
my go-to.
I mean, Three Musketeers is amazing, but...
So sometimes the marketplace was a little hot, so the Reese cups were melted, and I didn't want to eat that.
Also,
you
Reese
went
cups
enough
in the morning,
to know that nuance. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so I don't know if I would stop if I was in a hotel room just flipping through channels. I don't know if I would stop, which I'm gonna just say flip off just because of that reason.
Yeah.
Alone. And I have been on a bit of a flip-on spree recently, and yeah. What about you, Samster?
I, too, am on the fence, but I'm going to take the side of it's worth watching once, and therefore, I feel like if it's at a certain part of the movie, I would keep it on. If it's at the first half where we're doing the Coca-Cola ads and we're just kind of moody and stuff, probably not, but, if we're towards the back half where...
I would agree with that.
Basically a lot of the shit's going down.
The action.
I think I would stop. I do enjoy it, but it's hard now. You know what I mean? I think that my opinion would be different if 2049 were not out. That's what I'm going to stake. Because I feel like I enjoyed that one more because it's more artistically appealing, personally. It does the world better.
Or however
you know
you say
what I
his
mean?
name.
Yeah.
At least from what I remember of it. So
It's just like Dune, right, Sam?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe have not seen the first one. But yeah, I mean, I would flip it on. I'll take the other stance. That way we cancel each other out. How's
There
that?
we go.
I think Adam peer pressured himself into flipping it off, but
I think so too.
I think
He's like,
it's
I am a white. I flip everything on.
I can't be that person. I gotta flip
I can't do
something
it.
off.
I know. I was like, I do have this whole
Statistics are
thing where
skewed.
I have this thing where I like to go back and forth when I'm on the fence. I flip on, flip off.
I mean, I think that's a fair way to do it.
And yeah, so.
I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah, okay, so next week, Sam's going to be up flipping something on or off. Who knows? The world may never know, but she got... Oh, shit. She got a new category.
Uh-oh.
What is it?
It's Sam's favorite category.
Oh, yes.
Did I get another triple digit?
Double digits.
I was like,
So Sam has to pick a movie 99 minutes or less.
oof.
There is that one
I got
movie
a
that's called
14-minute
99
one.
minutes or less.
Oh, really? Huh?
What?
He said he has a 14-minute
Well,
one.
we already went over it, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I thought you meant you had another 14-minute
I know,
one.
I
was
did
like,
too.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
Probably.
So yeah.
All right.
Sam's got to pick a shorty.
Nice.
Bye. That's it.
Just that's it.
Roll the credits.